Welcome back to This is Van Color. My name is Mo Amir. Our featured guest tonight is a Van Color fan favorite, a local comedian based here in Vancouver. You've seen him on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Kevin Hart's LOL Network, and CBC's Comedy Night with Rick Mercer. He is Dino Archie. Dino, nice to see you, man.
So I just want to commend you, man, for doing this for a whole year and seeing it grow. I see you got billboards.
I got some billboards.
I saw them on the billboard. I saw you dripping on the board. So you're dripping on the billboard. They need to get you a table, man.
All right.
That's all I'm just trying
next time, hopefully we'll have a new table. Listen, I brought you on because I want to talk about this idea of impact versus intent. Comedians obviously are very thoughtful with the intent of their jokes, but do you think they have to be thoughtful about the impact of their jokes? And I'm thinking about Dave Chappelle in particular and his SNL monologue that he just had. A lot of people said that, maybe he didn't intend it, but he was drawing on a lot of anti-Semitic tropes, and he should have been a little more thoughtful about that. I know you're a big Chappelle fan. What's your take when it comes to the impact that you and your peers have in just doing your job and trying to make people laugh?
This answer is about tenfold.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to.
We got 5 minutes.
All these. Let's start at the beginning. In Africa. It starts all in Africa.
Please.
When a black man in America, black is even only a thing because white was brought to the forefront.
Right.
During this slave trade.
Yeah, it's a social construct.
Social construct, right?
Yeah.
So a black man gets to a certain place in America. One of their gifts, or I guess one of their rewards, is their blackness is taken away from them. They're not seen as a black person anymore.
But aren't they?
They're seen as punching down.
Oh, okay.
Somehow, Dave Chappelle's points were punching down.
Right.
When he spoke about the anti-Semitic, whatever, the subject of that. When he was speaking about black tropes and stereotypes, we laughed.
Right.
There was no boycott. There was no think piece on if he's gone too far, is he thoughtful?
Right.
It's when he spoke on another a certain group is when all of those the backlash comes and the muzzle comes and they say he's punching down. They strip his blackness from him just because he got to a certain level of fame or celebrity.
Right.
All of a sudden he's pretty much black men. It's almost like we get a promotion. We got a promotion in America at the worst time. so all his talking points.
What makes this time so bad?
All his talking points are seen as if he's a white man.
Right.
As if he has no relationship to struggle or to being a part of a community that's being subjugated and lesser than and second class, to the point to where they had to put it on a T-shirt to remind everybody that Black Lives Mattered only a few years ago.
Right.
So if we're from that same group, how can you punch down? I don't believe in punching down, personally. I don't believe in that term. I believe you could punch any direction you want.
Right.
I don't believe in bullying. Bullying is a whole separate thing.
And I think it's fair that, Dave Chappelle was doing a commentary on Kanye West and Kyrie Irving, and he was talking about, as you said, this idea that, if it's a group of Black guys, it's a gang. If it's a group of Italian people, it's the mafia. If it's a group of Jewish folks, it's a coincidence, right? And so there is a certain double standard that we have when talking about different groups and what we accept and what we don't accept. And I think that was interesting. However, even understanding that comedy draws on tropes, don't you have some responsibility to not perpetuate certain harmful tropes about different groups?
Yeah, if you are exploiting the harmful stereotypes, all of that is totally your responsibility. But that's when they decide to give a comic all of this power. Is his joke incited? There's no relation to that. If somebody is hateful and has malice towards a group, they weren't waiting for Chappelle to put that battery in their back.
Right.
They might clumsily try to attempt one of his jokes, which a white woman did to me on the island, Pender Island. She told me about the Chappelle joke, but all she kept saying was N-word with the hard R.
Wow.
So she forgot all the punchlines. She's drunk. So I got a drunk Newfie going,
So she just wanted to say that word.
So I didn't say, oh, Chappelle, do you see what you've done with your platform? You got this white dingy yelling. No, people are, that's their responsibility.
Yeah.
Every individual is responsible for their actions. You can't put that on an artist or a comedian. Now, you can be hurt. That can be not funny to you.
Yeah.
That's your right. Oh my, if it's not funny to you, great. A lot of my comedy isn't funny to a lot of people. Good. Hey, good.
You're always good in my books, man.
Right.
You're always good in my books.
That's not the argument. We're not saying, oh, this should be funny to you. You should laugh. You can't be hurt by this.
Yeah.
You have a right for all those things, but the question is, do you want a world where everything that hurts your feelings shouldn't exist? From an artist, that's not how art works. Not in North America. That's one of the perks, is our freedom to express ourselves. You as a comedian, you look around the world and you see what's going on. That's all people are talking about is Ye, and now they're talking about Hebrews from Hebrews to Negroes.
Right.
Became the #1 seller on Amazon.
Right.
That's all we're talking about. So you're supposed to ignore that conversation as an artist because it might hurt some people's feelings if you make some jokes. You could do comedy like that too, but you also have a right to do it as he did, and he did it masterfully.
Absolutely. And I think we can both agree that regardless of what is said on stage, it's best to actually have a conversation about it. And so if people do feel like it's hurtful or harmful, let's talk about it, and maybe I'll gain better understanding if you or someone else is hurt by certain tropes.
I completely agree with that. I think that I had a conversation in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Not on the Strip, on the back of the Strip.
Okay. The Low Road Larry Strip.
Low Road, yeah. When you have a conversation at 3 a.m. On the back of the Strip, that's the kind of stuff that the canceling is different.
Right.
When you get canceled from that, you don't come back. And we're in this bar, and my friend sports is on. I said, I'll boycott basketball altogether. My friend goes, I thought you were a sports guy. And I go, that's kind of racist. And I'm joking.
Okay, yeah.
The bartender hears it, and he goes, hey, that did sound hella racist. and so I said, yeah, this guy says, he's been saying I'm racist all night because I don't like even saying the word, the J word.
Right.
I don't even like saying it because it sounds offensive from me because I'm not a J word. I say little hats. So I say, no, listen. So I say this to the bartender. I said little hats, and he said that's racist. And I told him why I don't want to say the other word, and then the guy goes, that's hella racist too. To me, I said, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So then another bartender, his partner comes, dude from New York, dingy dude, but you could tell he's been around the stuff.
Right.
He comes around, his buddy goes, hey man, is little hats racist? He goes, not really. And then we had a whole conversation about, it led us into the conversation about Ye, about, people being offended, about accountability. It was crazy. It was like nobody was hurt in this conversation. It was three different whites and me.
And you all gained a better understanding.
And all we did was have a good understanding. Yeah, we didn't leave figuring out, solving the problems in the world, but we left laughing with each other. We connected even for that minute.
Totally.
And it was a good experience. And I was like, hey man, I don't own any of my opinions to the death. I'm not married to stuff. If a better idea comes down the pipeline that, is true to me and it helps the most people, man, I'm all open for that.
Yeah.
So, but people were afraid just to even have that conversation. And we are actually having that off the record. So why can't we have that on the record?
Absolutely. Dino, man, I appreciate your time. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Man,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Folks, one of the best stand-up comics in the city of Vancouver, and if you want more of him, and who doesn't, be sure to get your tickets to the Van City Comedy Extravaganza on Saturday, January 21st. That's in the new year, 2023, at the Vogue Theatre in Vancouver, with a lineup so stacked, it's disrespectful. Yumi Nagashima, Gavin Matz, Marlito Lopez, Ivan Decker, all presented and headlined by our featured guest tonight, Dino Archie. Now stick around, because after some business, let's continue our dialogue tonight about the limits on what comedians can say on stage, and let's look at it from a legal perspective. Kyla's Court with Kyla Lee is up next. I'm Mo Amir. This is Van Cullen.